Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cancer Weekly Tarot Bite reading for the week of August 7th through the 13th. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot reading for Soul Illumination. So hi everyone and welcome. My name is Lauren. This is a quick energetic read for the week ahead for the sign of Cancer. It's going to be about 10 minutes or so, and we're going to base the reading on the two themes that came up in the general collective reading, which was released on Sunday evening for the week ahead. So you can view that if you'd like to go a little deeper into those themes for the week. Now, those two themes were regeneration, which spoke to second chances, and areas of new growth in our life experience that are going to help bring balance as we start to embrace that area of new growth. So that can look like in this new cycle that's starting for us. Maybe in the past cycle, we were focused on career and work life. Maybe now we're having new growth in the area of home and family or in our personal life, or vice versa. Now we also have the Hermit, and the Hermit asks us to go within this week to find the magic that only we truly can bring to the world itself. It's what we shine outward for others to see, and to, just like the individual holding this lantern, to boldly hold our magic, our light out for others to see by, as well as ourselves. Okay, so, and I just wanted to apologize. I'm so sorry I got these readings out late in the week. I had some family things going on, and obviously I am not dressed appropriately, but I had to sneak this in between a workout. So there's that, but we're going to jump right in here, Cancer. So for regeneration, let's see what area of new growth is opening up for you in this next cycle. So we have Four of Wands, beautiful energy. Now this could be the energy of focusing on the home and family. The Four of Wands can speak to marriage. It can speak to foundations that are celebrated by others, like a marriage. But there's a sense too of also getting that chance to really be able to celebrate how far you've come, to build that firm foundation from a place of passion. Love that. So let's see what else wants to come through. And this could also just be, if we're looking at this just for the week ahead, this can be where maybe you're starting this week to really lay those foundations that maybe have already existed. It can be something along the lines where you and your significant other, you and your partner sit down and you're like, let's put together that 5-year plan. You know, let's really solidify this foundation here. Or for some of you, you could literally be getting married this week or very shortly around this time period. All right, and we have the Three of Cups. Oh, I love that. This is all about community, celebration, support, and something around, this could be, if this is not home life, this could also be the foundation for a business that allows you to bring in a group of people that, this could be a business that is supported by your community or by your friends and family. But there's a sense here of friends and connection and community and building a foundation that's going to support the growth of that. So to me personally, these are two cards together that I love to see. There's an interesting correlation too between the 4 and the 3 for me. There's a sense here of bringing those numbers together to equal the number 7, which is the number of spirit. It's the number of, I always feel like, personal alignment, the number of the confidence that we have in ourselves when we shine brightly, because we understand that we have that direct connection to spirit, that we are created to be in a certain way, so we have that confidence in ourselves. But there definitely is areas of new growth. I think for some of you, the areas of new growth are building new foundations around community, around new friends, around new connections. There could even be a sense of leveling up on a foundation, even through networking for some of you. But strong community, family, and support coming through. Love that. And again, for some of you, this could be literally, you could be getting married or celebrating something very positive this week or very shortly in around this time period. And that's really where the new growth is coming in. Okay, so for the Hermit, which we're looking at, where are you shining your light? Or, what is shining your light going to bring in for you? or possibly where you've been holding back, why you've held back from shining your light. So we have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles speaks to support. The Six of Pentacles speaks to the give and take in our life experience, reciprocity, that we get what we put in, even if we can't see it immediately. There's a sense also of, with that give and receive, that often this can be where we need to bring balance into our life experience in the physical plane of our existence by asking for help if we're in a state of needing to receive, or this can be where we can bring our experience into a state of balance by actually giving to another if we're in the place to do so. With the moon, this really speaks to kind of a lack of clarity that maybe for some of you, you're not quite sure where to get help. You're not quite sure what this balance is going to look like. What I'm feeling intuitively with these two cards is that for many of you, there's a sense here of, if I shine outwardly, if I put myself out there, maybe if I even invest in myself in some capacity in the magic that I uniquely bring, it's unclear how that might have a return on my investment, or it could be where you guys don't know where or who to ask for help. There's a sense here of wondering where the balance is going to come from, or where the support is going to come from, or if you shine boldly out there, is it going to return something to you? Now, it does say the way is unclear. The way that I read this is that the way is unclear because I think for many of us, we're being asked in this next cycle to really move into a place of faith. Not faith in that we just blindly have to just go along with whatever comes our way, but more in the faith that what we are focused on bringing into our life is ready to come in for us, but it will come in a way that perhaps we don't understand or can't see because we're not in a place yet to see it, or we're not in a place to even understand that extra level of abundance or that extra level of love or whatever we're looking for to come into our lives, we don't even understand that it can come in a much better or brighter way for ourselves. I always like to speak to kind of the limited aspect of our imagination is in the human experience, is that not that we have a limited imagination. I mean, that's actually one of our strongest, I'd say, gifts as human beings, is that we can always kind of innovate or find a new way around or come up with an idea, an epiphany out of the blue at the right moment. But there's also a sense that comes through sometimes of we can only build on there's a sense of we only know what we know. So I was laughing about this with my husband the other day. We were watching an older Star Trek, and there was a sense of, them trying to show what they thought in the future, laptops, like a version of a laptop, which was this big bulky thing, and it just could type out just a few numbers on the screen. And it's like they're supposed to be so far into the future, and yet here we can do far more than that on like a little tiny handheld device. And again, at the time when they were making those TV shows, the computer, the smartphone, everything as we know it now really did not exist. And so they were only basing their vision for the future on what they knew and the advancement of that, kind of just building a little bit on top of that. And so there's a sense here, and I know I'm kind of going off on a sidetrack on a tangent, but for Cancer, I get that feeling for you. There's that sense of having to lean into that you can't imagine what the future holds because you don't even have a frame of reference for that. That when it comes down the pipeline at some point in your experience, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I see why the way was unclear. I see why I had to walk that path on faith. I see why I felt called to walk away from that or walk towards this or make that move, or I see why that thing came in out of the blue that forced me to change. There's something like that coming in where I think in this next cycle, there's something beautiful and major that wants to come in for you, but there's going to have to be this sense of understanding that the way is unclear. Now, the beauty of the Moon card, even though technically it represents Pisces in this deck, you are ruled by the Moon, Cancer, and this card speaks to following your intuition, feeling that call from within to come up out of the depths of your emotions, which is where you're comfortable, and to go on a new journey up onto dry land towards where the moon is calling you. So there's a sense of being called out of a comfort zone, being called on a new journey. And it's almost like saying, hear the call, feel the call, use your intuition, which is your strong point, to be the guide. And you know, with the wolves kind of howling at the moon, there's a sense here of like something within you spiritually that's howling, that's waiting to come out, that's waiting to be shown out there for others. And what it will draw back in, or a level of reciprocity that it might bring into your life experience, is not, you will not be aware of it just yet. So there's a deep sense here of really getting into that spiritual side of your experience and really developing that faith you have in the divinity of our life experience. Okay, I'm going to pull a final card here, Cancer, so that we can give you one final message to focus on for the rest of this week. What does Cancer need to know? Oh, I was like, oh, I love it. We have Dove Spirit. Be peace. Number 21 breaks down to the number 3. The number 3 is the number of creativity. It's the number of greeting life with the innocence of a child. It can be communication. But I love that it's be peace, kind of like with what was coming through, which is this kind of getting into this place of deep faith, deep knowing. When we think of be peace, there's a sense of the peace that comes when we are at peace with ourselves. We don't have to have peace in our environment to experience peace within. And peace within comes when we know who we are, when we're confident in the decisions we're making because we're trusting our intuition. We're trusting what we feel. We're trusting that there is a divinity and a divine design. And so there's nothing to worry about. You know, there can be a storm brewing around you, and yet you are that place of peace, that place of faith, that place of quiet confidence. And there's a sense of really getting grounded in that this week and feeling that come in. And I think, you know, I'm just hearing eye of the storm, eye of the storm. You might feel like the eye of the storm this week. And that might be a part of this cycle. As the last cycle ends, the new cycle begins. It may feel like things are getting kind of churned up. And that's what's making the way unclear. But it does say that there's going to be a level of support and a foundation built on this new support that's coming in for you that's going to be beautiful in this next cycle. That's the area of growth that's really taking root. So be at peace with that. Know it's coming. Know it's growing. Know that the timing is right. And trust your intuition. All right, I will leave it there, Cancer. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, you can view your full tarot scope for the month of August on my channel. And if you would like to continue to view these weekly readings, you can click on my subscribe link on the channel to see when they're posted if you haven't already done so. All right, Cancer, I will see you next week. Bye.